Ever been written off by the people who should believe in you most? I'm Nora Bennett, 26, from Boise, Idaho. Growing up, my parents gave up on me, betting all their hopes on my older brother Caleb, their golden son, the future surgeon who'd make them proud. Caleb was the scholar, the one they cheered at every award ceremony. Me? I was the artist, painting in my room. But they'd say, Nora, you're a lost cause. Caleb's our winner. I didn't hate Caleb. He was kind, even if clueless about their favoritism. But their abandonment hurt. When I showed them my paintings at 15, Dad scoffed. Art's a dead end, Nora. You're not, Caleb. Mom added, get a real job. Their words cut deep, but they sparked a fire. Not to fight them, but to make them regret ever doubting me. This story's packed with drama, a sneaky prank, and a moment that'll make you cheer. Ready to see how I proved them wrong? Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. Our Boise home was a modest split level with a view of the foothills where the scent of pine and barbecue lingered. But for me, it felt like a place where my dreams were discarded. My parents, both insurance agents, valued practical careers. My brother Caleb, 20, was their ideal. Tall with a buzz cut and a knack for science. He aced AP classes, won biology fairs, and had a pre-med track at Boise State. Dad would say, Caleb's our pride. He'll save lives. Mom kept a wall of his awards, from science Olympiads to debate medals. I was different. At 10, I started painting, turning blank canvases into vibrant landscapes and portraits. By 14, I was sketching Boise's rivers and mountains, dreaming of an art career. But when I showed Dad my work, he'd sigh. That's nice, Nora, but Caleb's studying for the MCAT. That's real talent. Mom was blunter. Art won't pay the bills. You're not cut out for it. Their dismissal was relentless. When I got a B in history, Mom said, Caleb never got below an A. When I joined the art club, Dad suggested, why not nursing like Caleb's girlfriend? At 15, I entered a local art contest with a painting of the Boise River at dusk, winning first place and a $500 prize featured in the Idaho Statesman. I ran home, waving the newspaper, thinking they'd finally see me. Dad glanced at it. Cute, Nora, but Caleb's at a med camp. That's the future. Mom added, don't waste your prize on paint. They framed Caleb's scholarship letter, but left my article in a drawer. The worst came at 16. I'd been accepted to a summer art program at Boise State with a partial scholarship. I'd also started an Instagram at Nora Paints, posting my art and gaining 2,000 followers. I thought my parents would care. At dinner, I shared my news, hands shaking. Dad laughed. Art? You're a lost cause, Nora. Caleb's at Boise State, building a real career. Mom nodded. We've given up on you. Caleb's our focus. My heart broke. They'd paid for Caleb's laptop and dorm, but wouldn't help me? I stood, voice trembling. I'll make you regret this. I stormed to my room, slamming the door. That night, I scrolled Reddit's r/art, reading stories of artists defying naysayers. One post hit hard. They gave up on you? Make them wish they hadn't. I grabbed my paintbrush, whispering, I'll show them. Caleb's college send-off party was the final straw. My parents threw a backyard bash with a Go Broncos banner and a catered taco bar. Neighbors toasted Caleb's med school dreams. I helped set up, but no one mentioned my contest win or Instagram. Standing by the cooler, I vowed I'd make them regret giving up on me. But the road was tough. At 17, I worked part-time at an art supply store, brush and canvas, to buy paints and brushes. I'd sketch during breaks, creating bold abstracts inspired by my pain. My Instagram grew to 5,000 followers, but every like felt like a secret my parents didn't value. Caleb came home for summer, and the house revolved around him. He was kind, saying, "Nora, your art's amazing. Why don't mom and dad get it?" I shrugged, hiding my hurt. My breaking point came at 18. I'd saved $2,500 from brush and canvas and Instagram commissions to buy a professional easel. I'd also been offered a spot in a regional art showcase in Seattle, a big deal for young artists. At a family dinner, I announced my plan. I'm showcasing my art and building a career. Dad scoffed. "You'll flop, Nora. Caleb's interning at a hospital. That's winning." Mom added, "We won't bail you out when you fail." I felt crushed. That night, I applied for student loans, packed my canvases, and moved into a shared apartment near Boise State. I was done chasing their approval. Reddit's RR Artist became my lifeline. Feedback on my work gave me hope. One comment stuck. "They gave up on you? Make them regret it." I taped it to my easel, vowing to make my art a name they couldn't ignore. At 18, I moved into a tiny Boise apartment with two roommates, both struggling creatives like me. By day, I studied fine arts at Boise State, learning color theory and composition. By night, I worked at brush and canvas, selling sketchbooks and saving every dime. My Instagram, at Nora Paints, became my gallery. I posted vibrant abstracts and landscapes, building a following of 10,000. Every brushstroke, every post was a step toward making my parents regret their doubt. My parents rarely called. When they did, it was about Caleb. "He's acing pre-med." I'd nod, hiding my progress, and share nothing about my art. My paintings were gaining traction. I sold pieces to local cafes and galleries, earning $1,500 a month. I exhibited at Boise Art Walks, where strangers praised my work. "Your colors tell a story." But the grind was brutal. My brushes wore out, rent was tight, and I lived on instant noodles to afford canvas. At 20, a break came. A regional art festival, Northwest Art Fest in Seattle, invited me to showcase my portfolio with a $15,000 prize and a chance to exhibit at a major gallery. It was my shot to go big. I spent weeks painting a new series, Broken Light, inspired by my family's rejection, bold abstracts with cracks of gold. To save money, I took a Greyhound to Seattle, my canvases strapped to my back. My parents didn't know. They'd stopped asking about my hobby. Northwest Art Fest was a vibrant scene, galleries, live music, and thousands of art fans. I set up my booth, heart racing, with Broken Light displayed under soft lights. When my name was called as the winner, I nearly dropped my paint palette. The $15,000 let me rent a small studio, and the gallery, Seattle Modern, offered a solo exhibit. My Instagram jumped to 50,000 followers with messages, "Your art healed me." But doubt lingered. Every milestone felt fragile, like my parents' words, "You're a lost cause," could undo it. For a laugh, I set a trap for my parents. Caleb followed my Instagram, so I knew they'd see my posts through him. I shared a fake photo of a terrible painting, captioned, "Rough day. Maybe art's not for me." Mom called within hours. "Nora, we told you you're hopeless. Come home." I grinned, planning to reveal my success later. Caleb texted, suspicious, "Sis, you're up to something, right?" I sent a winking emoji. The real test came at 25. Seattle Modern invited me to a national art summit in Chicago, where I'd pitch my work to top curators from MoMA and the Guggenheim. A deal could launch my career globally. But the pressure was crushing. Competitors had art degrees from NYU and big budgets. My parents' voices echoed, "You'll flop." I sent my family invites to the summit with a cryptic note, "Join me in Chicago July 10th." I wanted them to see their lost cause triumph. I threw myself into prep. I painted a new series, Regrets Dawn, blending abstracts with portraits of resilience. My team, two Boise State friends, a curator and a framer, helped build a pitch deck. We rented a studio, maxing out my savings. Challenges hit hard, a canvas tour, forcing a last-minute repaint. I got hate online. Her work's overrated. One night, I found a Reddit post on our artists. How do you handle doubters? A reply stuck. Don't fight them. Make them regret. I taped it to my palette, pushing forward. My team rallied, and we nailed Regrets Dawn. I stood in our studio, surrounded by canvases, whispering, "This is my moment." The Chicago Art Summit was a high-stakes spectacle. Grand galleries, crystal chandeliers, and curators in tailored suits. My booth was striking, with Regrets Dawn under golden lights and a touchscreen showing my process. I wore a black dress and my paint-splattered boots, nerves electric. My team hustled beside me, handing out art cards. My parents and Caleb arrived, looking out of place among the art elite. Mom clutched her bag. Dad frowned at the modern sculptures, and Caleb scanned the booths, confused. They hadn't connected my invite to this. I took a deep breath and stepped to the main stage for my pitch, the crowd swelling to thousands. "Hey, everyone," I said, voice steady despite my pounding heart. "I'm Nora Bennett, and Regrets Dawn is my story. It started in Boise, born from being told I was a lost cause. Today, it's touched 100,000 hearts with 1 million Instagram followers. I clicked to a slideshow, bold abstracts, gold cracks glowing, portraits of strength. The crowd leaned in. I shared stats, $250,000 in sales, features in Art Forum, and my vision. My art will inspire the world to rise from doubt. Then I got personal. My parents gave up on me, betting on my brother. But this is my answer, not anger, but art. I glanced at my family. Mom's eyes were wet, Dad's jaw tight, Caleb's phone up, filming. The slideshow ended with a fan's quote, "Nora's art gave me hope. She's a game changer." The room erupted in applause. The judges announced, "For vision and impact, the winner is Nora Bennett." I won a $1 million grant and a MoMA exhibition deal. Cameras flashed as I accepted the award, tears streaming. Offstage, my family approached, faces raw. Mom hugged me, sobbing. "Nora, we were so wrong. We didn't see your strength." Dad, voice hoarse, said, "We thought we were guiding you, but you're a legend. I'm sorry." Caleb grinned, holding a small sketch. "I kept your first river painting from when you were 15, he said, eyes misty. "You're my inspiration, sis." I laughed, hugging him, my prank forgotten. The twist hit me later. Their abandonment wasn't hate. They feared I'd struggle, blinded by their own view of success. But it fueled me to make them regret, not with spite, but with beauty. My art wasn't just a career, it was proof I was enough. Today, my art's in MoMA, with 1 million Instagram followers and $5 million in sales. My parents visit my exhibits, and Caleb's my manager, booking my shows. But the real win? Knowing I turned abandonment into triumph, making them regret with my success. If your family gave up on you, hear this. Your dreams are your power. Paint, create, fight. Make them wish they'd believed. You're not a lost cause. You're unstoppable. Thanks for seeing my story. If it moved you, smash that like button and subscribe. Comment, who gave up on you and how'd you prove them wrong? I'm reading, everyone. Share this with someone chasing a dream and hit that bell for more. Let's keep rising.